Right. Now, for these ceramic rods, they'll start getting uh, material in them. They start getting dark like this. They're kind of a pain in the butt to clean. Um, Usually, I get in there with soap, like dishwashing soap, and one of those green pads, and I scour the crap out of them to try to get them this way. One of the quicker, it's not 100% consistent, is one of the lint rollers. If you get that sucker on there and you roll it, you can get some of it off. I mean, it takes you a while, but you're basically just lint rolling on it. And you can see it picks up a little bit of material. You can do those. These are inexpensive, but anyways, that's enough for right now. Once again, we're gonna place this in like this. Set it on a flat surface. Make sure it's level. Tighten it down. Check it again. We're gonna go to 20 degrees. Now, when you do this last one, you're really gonna notice that you're on a fine stone. It feels like basically ceramic. It feels like glass. Like you're basically got a glass rod gliding on there. It takes a while to get any scratches or anything that are in or out of there, but it's really, this is where it's starting to get more of a mirror polish to it. And maybe if I had some honing oil in here, it wouldn't stick to the ceramic thing as much. But like I said, this is all I use most of the time. I don't really have any honing oil anymore. Any oil would have worked, like light 3-in-1 oil, anything like that. A KPL, knife pivot lube oil, anything you want to use. But like I said, I just do it this way. Now what I'm doing is I'm just holding it on there and I'm just feeling, kind of feeling the blade as I'm going along, and I'm looking. My eyesight's not that great, but I can see some scratches reflecting back at me. And I'm just trying to get those out of the way. Like I said, this can take a while doing this method here. But when you finally get your knife all sharpened, you don't have to do this every time. From then on, once you've got this like this, the most you're going to have to do is strop it most of the time. And if you do need to sharpen it, you're going to put it in that 20-degree angle Lansky box and like 5 or 10 strokes on each side, and boom, you're done. It's razor sharp again. That's a good thing about a softer steel is, yeah, it doesn't hold its edge quite as long as a harder steel, but it's also easier to get that razor sharp edge back without a lot of elaborate stuff. Sometimes you can just sharpen it on cardboard itself, or a ceramic cup, or a window. Roll your window down and run the edge on there. As long as you're keeping the edge angle the same, it'll sharpen it up. Alright, so like I said, it's not going to get it 100% mirror polish, but we're just basically trying to get most of the imperfections out of there. It's not really doing it's doing more of a polishing job when you're at 1,000 grit than you are sharpening, but it can still sharpen. I mean, you're just not going to be able to get major angles and stuff straightened out. You're just basically going to smooth up the edge that you've already got. You don't have to push down real hard or anything. Just keep a steady, consistent pressure on it. Make sure you work the whole blade, especially the tip. I tend to concentrate down here, like I said, because I know the end down here is where it's not always sharp, and that's a lot of times that's the only edge you want to use is the tip or the end. Occasionally, If you're doing a lot of box cutting and stuff like that, you're going to be using the middle quite a bit. It's just good to have them sharp all the way down from hilt to tip, or from the tang to tip. Alright. Yeah, the burr's on the other side. It's not much of a burr now. Before, you were feeling like a really sharp lip. Now, you have to really feel for it. We're not going to worry about that burr too much because the final step is the one that's going to be the sharpest. Is the one that's really going to improve it. And we're about to do some more paper cutting just to see how it is. I want to show you how it does without stropping. It'll be an acceptable edge and everything. But with stropping, there's usually a noticeable difference. Alright. Let me just get this side one more time. And then we'll be ready to strop. What I like about these guided systems is that it does most of the work for you for the angle. I mean, you still have to do the manual labor and everything, but the hard part usually is being consistent with your angle. If you just elevate your hand a little bit while you're sharpening, or the knife, or you lower it just a little bit, you're going to change that angle, and it's going to be sharp until it hits that point. When you're cutting, you'll feel it. You'll go, hey, this knife's pretty sharp, and then there'll be a hang up. And it might not be super significant or anything like that, but you'll feel it. And when you feel it, if you look at the edge, you'll be able to tell, well, that's where it needs improvement. I mean, you can sit here and work on a perfect edge and everything and then have it dull up in no time, but gives you something to do, keeps you off the street. Alright, hit this side just one more time here. Just a light one. Alright. Yeah, I don't feel much of a burr on either side. Alright, now we can take this apart. See, it didn't really mess up the blade where I clamped. I was right by the nail neck and up here. Like I said, if you want to protect it a little bit more, you can put some tape either on the jaws up here or on the blade itself. Some people protect the whole blade, you know, just to keep anything from being scratched. But like I said, this is just a little test run here, a little example. Alright, so we get that out of the way. Now we get a little piece of paper out here. And we see what it does before stropping. I'm going to go up here on the tip. Pretty good. It's going to strop up real well, I think. I don't see a lot of hangs, and I don't see... There's a little bit of paper snag right there in the middle. So now I go with the rough side, and I just run it through like this a couple of times. The rough side, it's got more hills and valleys in it, so it doesn't feel like it's hitting all of the blade the way the smooth side does. This is where I feel like I get more effect out of it. When I bought this, it came with some green compound, a little half, and I just ran it through there, and that's what this is basically, just some green compound. Different colors give you different grits, basically, and so it'll sharpen a little bit too. But it's mostly just to take all the burrs off there and just to polish up that edge just a little bit more. Give you a nice, smooth, consistent. I try to hit the top. I'm just trying to follow through, like I hit the edge, and I just roll along with it the same way on the bottom here. I'm trying to keep the angle. I'm trying to keep it all on just the bevel of that thing, but there's other ones that are free hanging ones where you just go like that, whatever works. All right, now we'll test again. Oh yeah, now, there was a little hang up right there. And if you look at the blade, you'll be able to see there's a little pieces of paper hanging right there. So that's where that edge is a little bit hanging up. Not much. I mean, you have to be really picky about it to get it. So I'm going to concentrate more on that middle part right now. I'm using the edge of this. All right, I'll see what we get. Oh yeah, it only stopped because it ran to the hilt. And if you look at the paper, there's a nice smooth cut all along. There's no paper burrs. There's just a tiny bit in the middle where it was. So we still have just a little bit, but this is good. This is fine. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, your biggest secret for a sharp blade is a strop. Consistent angle and a strop. Let me see how this is. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Just take that hair right off. Don't need any lather or anything. Man, this thing's shave my yeah. Yeah, so there we go. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and have a nice day.